Let's bring in Tawhid Asadi. He's live for us in Tehran. And Tawhid, a little over an hour ago now, 2 hours ago, Israel said that it was striking Iran again. What was happening?
Well, actually, what we see on the ground is the very reality that Tehran is striking back while the Israeli military offensive continues across the country. A couple of minutes ago, here in the capital of the country, we heard the sound of explosion, which is related to the activation of air defense systems, something that has happened over the past few hours and past 2 days. But speaking of the context, we spoke to a high-ranking security official here in Tehran. He said that Tehran is preparing itself for a prolonged confrontation and will increase its attacks, something very important in terms of the current situation. What we hear from Iranian officials, including this security official, is that Tehran has plans to increase its attacks. Also, he told Al Jazeera that Iran did not start this war, but it will determine the end of this aggression. This is, quote unquote, from this security high-ranking official. This is Netanyahu's war, and its outcome will be nothing less than destruction of the Israeli regime. Also, he referred to the United States during what he told us, and he said in this regard that Iran is defending its people, and Trump must decide whether he wants to sacrifice American taxpayers' money to Netanyahu's ambition, who has a history of waging war. This is one of the statements that we have heard from Iranian officials, but if you look at the broader context, you see similar strong messages that is being delivered from Iranian officials, including the supreme leader, who came out with a video message saying that Israelis are going to face the repercussions of what they did about the previous strike. And we have to keep in mind that this is unprecedented compared to what we had in the past. Back in October 2024, we had a strike by the Israelis on Iranian territories, but compared to what happens on the ground today and yesterday, we can say it was nothing. Now we see extensive attacks by the Israelis across the country. We are hearing explosion sounds from Tabriz, from Kermanshah, from Hamadan, and many other cities. And from the other part, from the Israelis, Israeli side, Iran is saying that it's going to continue its retaliation. Earlier today, it was the army spokesperson saying that the next round of ballistic missile launches are going to be 20 times more than the previous one, the one that we observed
jump in there, because
last
I'm just seeing some lines coming in now from Iranian state television saying that it has begun its missile strikes against Israel. And we are seeing lines from the Israeli military saying it has identified missiles launched from Iran towards Israel, and that it's instructing the public to enter protected spaces, to enter shelters and remain there until further notice. It does appear as if Iran has launched now its counterattack tonight.
Yes, this is just a part, and the spokesperson of the armed forces had a similar statement in this regard earlier today. He said that what happened last night is just a part of a decisive operation that Iranians have started. From what I can say, this was just a beginning, and from what I hear from Iranian officials, it is going to be continued for the next hours, if not days down the road. We are seeing a highly escalated situation, and what we hear from both sides, from the Israelis and from the Iranians, are indicative of the fact that they are going to continue to increase their attacks. But for further details, we have to keep waiting to see what comes out in the next few hours.
Okay, Tawhid, many thanks indeed for bringing us the view there from Tehran. Let's bring in Bernard Smith. He's joining us from the Jordanian capital, Amman, and he's reporting from there because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside Israel and the occupied West Bank. So, Bernard, I can see you looking up at the sky there. I'm just interested to know what you're seeing or hearing there.
Well, we just had the air raid sirens going off over over Amman, over the Jordanian capital. They just stopped, and then there was a tannoy announcement broadcast across the city, and it was saying that Jordanian airspace, something has infiltrated Jordanian airspace. People should stay at home, do not go outside. And my cameraman is. Did you see something, Basil, or not? Okay, so something, as you were just hearing from Tawhid in Iran, clearly something is on its way, and we think we can see something in the sky there. Is that something just exploded in the sky there? So something has just exploded in the sky over Amman. There we have there's something going over in the sky over there. I think, can we see that, Basil? We can see that. Previously that Jordanian Air Force, the Jordanian military had intercepted some of the missiles flying over his airspace. There's another one. There's a lot of activity in the skies. Now you can see this. I think we see an explosion just above my head there, right high up in the sky. So clearly Iran has launched, well, clearly something is in Jordanian airspace and is being intercepted or attempts a bit. There was a huge explosion then just again, right above my head there. There's more. We can see them dropping down. Crikey, there's a lot. We can see these heading down. Basil, I think, is following that. Now, whether that's been something that's been destroyed in the air or whether it's something that's falling down here, and we will also have to be careful.
Yes, Bernard, please, if you need to go and take shelter, we can keep talking to you.
Yep.
If you need to go and take shelter, because it does look like there's an awful lot of activity in the skies there, and if the air raid sirens are going off, we will follow your lead as to what you need to do. Yeah,
the sirens are... Yeah, I think we're okay for now, Basil. We think, it's sort of way beyond it. You can see it all there, all that coming down. So that... I'm guessing is what has been destroyed on its way over. As I say, the Jordanians had previously, and when Iran previously launched missiles, I'm having another one right above me. When Iran had previously launched missiles, Jordanian's Air Force had tried to intercept them. Jordanians' own ground defences, air defences. There's a huge, raining. There's a lot coming down from the sky there. That's very significant. This is right over, this is just beyond the city centre of Amman. And there's clearly some impact over there because you can see when they hit the ground, you can see sort of red flashes. So whatever is being destroyed up there in the sky is landing on the ground, and you can see the explosions from there. For now, that first volley seems to have ended. And so there we are, Laura. So an indication, yes, that clearly something is going on.
Absolutely. I mean, Bernard, it's extraordinary to see those pictures. We're also keeping an eye on cities of Haifa, cities of Tel Aviv and Israel, and we're not seeing any impact there. It does appear as if the Jordanians are intercepting a lot of these missiles that are coming over from Iran before they actually reach Israel. But this is an extraordinary number of missiles that we're seeing being intercepted in the sky over Amman.
Yes, it is. And remember that while the Jordanians, Jordan does not have the sort of air defence systems that Israel does not have an Iron Dome. The Iron Dome over Israel that Israel uses provided considerable cover for Israelis. Yes, we know some missiles got through. We've seen the destruction in civilian areas. We don't know how many got through because there is, and as in every country at war, there is military censorship, and Israeli media is not allowed to report if it knows that military sites have been hit. That is kept strictly confidential, that is censored, so we don't know how many of those first wave of Israeli missiles struck military areas. But we do know that Jordan, the last time this happened, in Iran's first volley, first salvo, did intercept some missiles coming in because it's in Jordanian airspace, and Jordan considers these missiles potentially a threat to it as well. So it would certainly, when something is flying over the capital like that, it would try and intercept them, and it looks like something there has been intercepted and has fallen to ground just beyond the city centre.
And we're just seeing that there are air raid sirens now sounding in Haifa, and that is the city that we can see in the big box on our screens, just over from Amman, where those rockets were destined for. A lot of them, as you showed us amazingly, Bernard, were intercepted over the skies of Amman. Are you also hearing air raid sirens in Amman? Because as these missiles are intercepted, the problem, the fear that shrapnel will fall down is very real and can also cause a lot of injuries.
Yes, it can. I mean, the air raid sirens will go for a fixed period of time as a warning. They don't ring constantly, and then there is this audio message. But everybody hears those air raid sirens. Everybody knows what to do. Again, Amman is not. And Jordan is not like Israel in that not every Israeli home, every Israeli office block, every Israeli building has got bomb shelters. Every Israeli home must have one, and every Israeli knows where to go. Jordan doesn't have that setup really, so it doesn't have that setup at all. It hasn't needed it. So people have been told just simply by that announcement to stay indoors and to stay at home, and the city has gone extremely quiet. There are still cars. It's a busy Saturday night. There is still traffic on the road. There are still people making their way home. There's not very little warning that this was coming. You just got the air raid siren, and I would say only a minute or two after you crossed to me did we see those missiles being intercepted. So there's not a long distance between the air raid siren going off and the missiles coming in. Really just a matter of minutes, so people really either have to shelter where they are or quickly try and find somewhere to shelter if there's a risk of debris coming down.
Absolutely, because obviously